All right, guys, happy Monday, July 22nd. Coming to you really recharged, feeling very, very excited. I got a buddy that's coming up that I hadn't seen in a couple years. He's going through some life changes. He's coming up this afternoon. We're going to spend some time. Him and his daughter Petra are coming up and so are coming down. So I'm excited to see them. But I took my son fishing yesterday. We live in River Islands. There's about 15 little private lakes, and you can go out on the dock and just sit there. And him and I just went out there and we went fishing. We had some classic rock and we had some bait, and we decided that we didn't catch anything, but he understood that it's a patience game. And so I don't know, if you're a parent, being able to take your son out, fishing on a dock, it's kind of a rite of passage. And so it was really cool, really, really, a moment that I'll always remember. I'm sure it's a moment that he'll always remember. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to have somebody bring us out on the field on this beautiful Monday morning. And how that works is just share with the group your sentiments, your thoughts, and if you were holding yourself on your shoulders and give yourself a quick coaching session. And you're looking yourself dead in the eyes. What do you need to say to yourself? What do you need to hear on this beautiful Monday morning as you start this week? So, Matthew, Mr. Wilbur, I'm not going to give you any pressure, but I'm going to give you a little bit of pressure. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field. Matt, I don't think you've ever done this before, my man. So what's the message of the morning? What do you need to hear? What does the team need to hear? Let's turn the mic over to you, my man. So, Matt, let's hear from you.
Well, what do we need to hear? Let's just get to it. I had a long weekend. I'm sure other people have long weekends as well. Just get to it. It's Monday, so start of a new week. Let's start it off right. It's bright and early. It's warm out. The week's gonna be good. Everything that needs to happen, make it happen. Don't fall back into your old ways. Just keep pushing. Whatever you got going on, just make sure you stay on top of it. Don't let your thoughts get the best of you. Stay positive, stay motivated, and let's get it.
Awesome. Well, I love it, my man. One of these sessions, I'm going to have you share what's on your whiteboard, because when we first met, we first talked about you joining the team. I was really inspired by what's on that whiteboard. So we'll save that for another time. But you guys, top of the morning, excited. As always, Mondays are about moving the needle. We need to be very clear on the actions that you're going to take. We're going to declare exactly what you're going to do this week in order to move the needle forward. You guys, right now as an organization, and we're not going to spend too much time on company numbers, but it's important to say, right now as an organization, we have close to 90 active units as well as coming soons. It's the most amount of pendings, or excuse me, listed inventory that we've ever had, and we're at 96, actually 97 pending units as a company. And so it's an incredible time. You guys continue to show this market that despite conditions or noise or ruckus or whatever's happening, we're always going to find a way to win. So I want to share this with you. I saw this morning. I forgot who it was from, but I want to share this with you. And it said that this game gets really, really hard, but I want you to remember this. I want you to remember that the struggle is an honor. The pain is a gift. The stress is a gift. The disappointments is a gift, and the lessons are gifts. And at the end of the day, when you go through all of the pain, the struggle, the moments of uncertainty, the moments of this emotional roller coaster, that when you finally find consistency in your business, when you're putting deals on the board, when you're getting those paychecks, you'll know that you earned it. And no one said that this game is going to be easy. So when you're going through all the things that you're going through, know that, you know what, this is part of it. You signed up for this, and you get to do this. And you get to go through all of this, and you get to have that grit, and you get to have those knocks on the chin, because I promise you, this game is making you tougher. Even if it's hard on some days for you to realize how much stronger you're getting by being in this business, I promise you, if you keep on doing the work, if you stay consistent, one day you're going to look back like, man, I really appreciate the struggle. I really appreciate the struggle. There's probably been coaches in your life in academics. There's been coaches in your life in your athletic career that you said, you know what, God, this is hard. These practices suck. These up, downs, these 2 days, these running the mile. Oh my God, this sucks. And then you look back and you're like, man, I got to go through all that, and look at who I became. Look at who I became. And so I want you guys to remember that all the things that you're going through, you guys get to do it. And I just want to share that sentiment with you. By a show of hands, and let's switch gears. By a show of hands, how many people are constantly reading articles about our industry? How many people have inboxes or their inbox full of different articles? Inman, you're subscribed to this. And by a show of hands, how many people find that at times it gets a little bit overwhelming to stay up to date with all the information that is out there about the industry? Is that safe to say? All right, cool. Ashley, I appreciate that. I saw a couple other hands. Liz, you guys, as much as I encourage you and want this for you, what we have to do is we have to find some types of cheat code. I'm up early and I'm looking at Inman, but sometimes there's 10 articles. Which one do I read? I go to Redfin, I go to BAM now. There's so much information out there. And so what happens is I don't want anybody to get overwhelmed. We also provide you with a market updates channel so you can go in and read articles about the market. But let's just be real. How many people actually like picking something up and reading it? Please raise your hand if you like picking up something and reading it. I personally do. But let me ask you, how many of you like to listen to something and you're in the car, you're on the elliptical, or wherever you are? All right, so I want to give you guys a cheat code. I found this over the weekend. I thought it was really, really cool. So just like you do your audibles, right? You're driving, you're on a road trip, wherever you are, you have an audible so you can listen to your books, listen to podcasts, so on and so forth. Well, there's a tool out there and I want everyone to download it today. Now, I don't know if it works for Android, so I think it does, but just in case it doesn't, let me preface this. There is an app out there and the app is called Reader by 11 Labs. Reader by 11 Labs. Now, what you do is you can take any article that you have found. Maybe it's an Inman article, and I'll just give you a quick update or show you how this is. So you take any of the updates or any of the articles that you find, and you can see here, here's my home screen. I've already loaded a couple articles in here. And now what's cool about this is you can choose any of the voices. There's celebrity voices on there. You can have a person with an Australian accent. You can have an English accent. You could have somebody that's more upbeat. You could have the epic reader that reads this article for you. And so what you have is you have this cool narration of any article that you find.
Answer. And new business opportunities will be revealed. Only gain deep insights into the publicly traded companies he covers as a research analyst, including Blend Labs, CoStar Group.
And so this is an article that I read this morning from Inman. So all I did was I pasted it into 11 Labs. And now I have the choice I could change the voice. Let's check this out. Let's go here. Let's see if this works. All right. So it's now going to an epic Zeus voice.
Off pad, open door, and port.
So the point is that you guys can go in there, take any articles that you guys have that you may want to read, but maybe just don't have time in the morning. You're getting ready, you're getting your children ready, you're on the road, you're heading to showings, you're getting prepped, you're getting prepared. But now I can put 5 articles that I want to read this morning, and I put them in here, and now I could just listen to them. And then if you like it, then obviously clip it, go back, save it. I even put one of my own articles in there just to see what it sounded like from the writing that we put out every single week in the Keep It Moving newsletter. I'm like, this sounds actually really cool. You guys go through your library of voices. As you can see here, let me get this to... So you could have iconic voices. You can even go with like a James Dean, but here's different types of voices. What's cool about this, you guys, is it just gives you an opportunity to make no excuses about the knowledge that you guys are taking in every day from the articles that you guys are seeing every single day. So I'll pause for a quick second. How many people are currently using Reader by 11 Labs? Is anybody currently using this? All right, cool. Would you guys find this helpful? Okay. I promise you, go in, I don't care if it's Burt Reynolds or if it's James Dean reading the article to you. What allows you to do is now you get to receive the information very, very quick on the go, just like you do your Audible. So game changer app, Reader by 11 Labs. Make sure to download that. Thank me later and load whatever you want in there. Any type of articles that we put into Slack, any that you see that you are registered for and that you're getting the emails every single day, highly recommend that you use that. Good stuff? Good. All right, cool. So let's do this. I want to go into a couple things really quick. And what I'm going to do is I'll pull up my slides in a quick second. But I have a question. Let's go chicken mom. I have a question for you. And I'm just going to ask you a really simple question. It's a yes or no. Did you know about the Amazon phone that they came out with a few years back?
No.
You didn't know? You didn't know that they dropped a Fire phone a few years back?
No, I had no idea. I know about the Fire tablet.
Okay, all right, cool. So
Fire
stay with
phone.
me. Jakar Miller, did you know about let's see, did you know about the Amazon Destinations website to help you book all of your travel needs? Did you know about that, Jakar Miller?
No.
No, okay. All right, so let's go over to Brandy Alfonso. Brandy, did you know about the Amazon Cloud Player that was supposed to be the place to get all of your music? Did you know about that?
Nope.
No, okay, cool. Let's go over to Princess Cole. Princess Cole, did you know about the Amazon wallet? It was around for about a whole 6 months.
Nope.
No, it's like it was like, like the wallet we have, we go and we pay for things. All right, so here's why. Here's why you guys don't know about these things, because none of these things are around anymore. But when you think about Jeff Bezos being the second most richest person on the face of the planet, when you think about this, Amazon has a philosophy, and their philosophy is that we fail frequently, right? Not all of the tools, not all of the things that they have launched have hit. Rightfully so, right? But what they've done is they've always taken chances. They've always stayed true to their core, but they said, you know what? Let's try some different products. Let's try this. Even though we don't have the answers, it may not work. Let's at least put it into the market and let's allow the market to test it. And so here's the thing, you guys. You guys might be running campaigns. You might be doing a street fair. You might go and do a coffee at the local, or excuse me, a question and answer at the local coffee house. I don't care if one person shows up or 20 people show up. Maybe you put something in your newsletter. It just didn't work. Maybe it was a video. It just didn't land. It's okay. You have to do all of these things in order for you to finally land on something that hits. As a company and as an organization, you guys, we have done tons of things that we no longer do anymore because they didn't turn out to be the best idea. However, we took the idea, we said, let's do it, and then we eliminated it, right? And that's okay. You guys all have to get in the habit of failing frequently, no matter what. Trying new things, being innovative, understanding that not everything's going to land, right? We did that with our own core values. I sat down and wrote the company's core values a year and a half into building this organization, and we don't even have those anymore. And what we did is we said, let's just make our core values be you but fast, because everything is wrapped up into those 4 words. So what I want to encourage everybody to do is really evaluate how much you are failing, how many times you are trying new things, new ideas, and shit. There's probably been a lead source on here that you paid for that didn't really produce any results. Who cares? Scrap it, move on. You might have run an ad on Facebook and nobody's responding to it. Okay, run a different ad. Oh, I made a video and nobody responded to it. Okay, listen to your hook, listen to your body, and listen to your call of action. Get better, right? The idea behind this is that we're constantly finding ways to fail and fail frequently, looking at it and say, okay, we tried that, now we're going to move on, but not getting held up by it, not have an emotional attachment to it. Just say, okay, it didn't work, and now we're going to shift and we're going to move on to something different. Let's go to JJ. JJ always has contributions. Let's hear from you, big dog.
I just want to tell you guys something, and I don't know, most people know this. I don't do a lot of sales business. I do most of my stuff is not traditional, so I don't do a lot of numbers. But one of the main reasons why I stay on the team, even though it's nowhere near focused to what I do, is because Kenny's culture, or you and Kenny's culture, that you're constantly analyzing what works and doesn't, and you don't hesitate to get rid of it. You know what I mean? And it helps me because I'm old and stodgy. After 22 years doing this stuff, I get stuck on stuff. And every time I either come on here or I just watch how Kenny drops an idea that didn't work out, but I mean, quickly. After 22 years of being in other brokers, you have no idea how people get attached to things. Even though in their core they know it failed, they still want to make it work. So I appreciate the hell out of the fact that I'm allowed to be on this team. And that's one of the main reasons, dude. A, Kenny's smarter than me. And B, you guys don't suffer fools, man. So that's one of the main reasons why I say I don't do a lot of business. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to stay on a team that's really, really concentrating on volume. But for me, I've been around the block and there's nothing better.
Listen, man, I appreciate your contribution. I think everyone on the call wants to be a little bit like JJ when they get older. We want to have multiple doors. We want to have, we want to have passive income. We want to not have to stress. And that's what he's been able to create for himself through this vehicle of real estate. So anybody else have any thoughts and contributions on that subject, on that topic? Anybody else have anything that they want to provide, insight, dialogue, or contributions? Anybody? Going once, going twice.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mishan.
And I can't show you because I allowed myself to, I can't show you me because I allowed myself to sleep in this morning.
Okay, well, you're still beautiful and you still got the same face that you would no matter what. But go on. Let's hear from you.
But I wanted to just agree with him because I've been in the business 19 years, but it was different for me because my broker didn't try. He didn't try to create systems. He didn't try to create tools and things that would work. He didn't try to figure out that if something didn't work. He just kind of went about the day. And so that's what I learned. I just go about the day, and what happens, doesn't happen. So being in this team has taught me, even though I'm a quote veteran, has taught me how to look at processes, look at what's working and what's not working. I have learned so much being on this team, and not just from the people who've been there a long time, but from the new people too. And that's the great part about it. You can learn from anyone, regardless of how long they have been in the business.
That's right. That's right. I really, really appreciate that sentiment, you guys. I'm still learning every single day. And it's one of the reasons why, I read a lot. I look at these articles, I attend events because I'm a student and I'm always going to be a student until the day I retire. And then probably when I retire, I'm still going to be somewhat of a student. And so I appreciate the sentiment, Michelle. Let me do this. I'm going to pull up my screen really quick and let's go ahead and get introspective. It's Monday. I always like to start you guys off with some questions to get the gears running, to get the mind going. So this is the part where we're all going to interact and get involved in this conversation. First and foremost, I need two people to share their wins from last week, whether it was an appointment they went on that they was a hard-fought battle. Maybe it was a contract they got into escrow. Maybe it's a new listing that they got. I need two people to share wins. And if you don't throw your hands up, I'm just going to pick on somebody because everyone has a win on this screen. So two people to volunteer. Don't leave me hanging. All right, there's Jakara, and I need one other person. I think today's Jakara's first time speaking and keep it moving. So let's go, Jakara. We'll go Jakara, then go to Shannon. Anybody else who wants to throw their hand in the mix, let's go. Jakara, let's hear it.
Well, first of all, I'm new to the team, and I came from another broker. And now that I'm here, I just held my first open house and shadowed someone else's open house too. So I got to meet two agents from Team Fast. So I held my first open house. No one came, but I'm still super, super grateful for the opportunity and just like how quick all this is like happening too. So it's exciting, just the whole process, like the emotions going towards it, just because like I'm in a headspace where I'm like super, super ready now, and like to have it like be there. And I was like, ugh, it just felt really good. So that was my this weekend. It was Saturday and Sunday. So yeah.
And here's the thing, we've all been there. And wait till you go on your first listing appointment. Wait till you go on your first $2 million listing appointment, right? We're going to experience different levels of emotions at different times, but I love this for you. Congrats. Let's go to Mishan. Mishan, what's your win for the week? And we're going to get right into the additional slides. Let's go, Mishan.
So I been on this mission to get back in touch with family that we used to be close and just grew up and don't talk. So my sisters and I went to go visit this cousin, and his wife pulls me to the side and she whispers, "Sell my house." And I was like, really?
Say what? Say what? I didn't hear that.
Oh, I was being dramatic, didn't work. She said she whispered that she wants to sell her house and buy another one.
Okay.
She wanted me to do it. And she already knew the area she wanted to move into. She had already started some research on her own about pricing, and she was pretty close actually. But she's still giving little feeds to her husband about it. He's open, but he's hesitant. So she's working on getting him on board, but she's very dead set. You know, the woman runs the house. So it's going to happen. It's just,
I love it. I love it. Well, they're obviously no stranger to you, knowing that you actually are in real estate. So absolutely love that. So each of you have a win to stack up. Let's go back to this, you guys. Let's get right into some of these questions. And I want you to be real with yourself. I want you to be honest with yourself. JJ, I'll come back to you in just a moment if that's a new hand. But what specific actions have you taken in this last month to generate leads, and how consistent have you been with those actions? And I think we should pause here for a second. I would love to hear from you guys, because this is where we're going to learn what's truly working for you. So what specific actions have you taken in this last month to generate leads, and how consistent have you been with those actions? Now, I'm going to call on somebody. Let's hear from somebody on the call. Let's go Mel, let's go Samantha, and let's go Chicken Mom. I want to hear from you guys. What have you, Sam said, oh gosh darn it, it's early. So I want to know, what lead generation activities have you done in this past month? How consistent have you been, and what have been some of the results? Mel, let's go to you first, and then we'll go Sam, and then we'll go Chicken Mom. Let's go, Mel. And congrats on your win for last week.
Thank you. That was a hard one. I almost chimed in when you were talking about that section, but we've moved on.
Feel free. If you got something else to continue on that, feel free to. You always got great contributions, so let's go.
Yeah, so I dealt with a very difficult transaction on my listing in El Sobrante. Came in as a listing lead. We listed her house, George Martinez and I, and got the listing at 7%. Well, we ended up going off market, opened it up to our partners, and received 3 offers on it. George goes, oh, hey, we get an offer from my girl, Julia. We have to accept it. She's a great agent. She's a mom, blah, blah, blah. Well, Julia just so happens to also be in my downline at EXP. So we accepted her offer. It was an all cash offer, 14-day close. Well, in the middle of the transaction, the buyer switches from an all cash 14-day close to all of a sudden on day 10, they go and they find a lender. So that lender comes with a list of requirements, of course, and we're on day 10. So it was very, very challenging to get a hold of this lender. It was very challenging to get an answer out of the buyer on if they're going to perform, if we can close escrow on time. They just weren't responding to titles, a request for documentation. And it was just a whole thing. Here, my seller is like holding her breath, hoping that she's going to be able to purchase her next forever home. And she's the sweetest lady ever. But we're at a standstill now because our all cash offer switched to a lender. So I ended up having to have a conversation with Julia. And I said, hey, what's in here? That I originally wrote is so far off of alignment with the offer that we're in contract in on now. And she was very apologetic and she was real sorry and all that stuff. But the way that we handled it was we were able to get on top of it, right? We followed up with Julia and her buyers almost every single day. We continued asking for the list of documents that the title company needed from the lender in order to close escrow. We ended up extending escrow out a couple of days, but at the end, we had them remove, all of the contingencies up front. So if they didn't perform on this, they were at risk of losing their deposit, and they knew that. So I called the homeowner's insurance company. I called the title company. I called the buyers every day. I was talking on the phone with Julia every day, and I stayed on top of it to make sure we understood exactly what we needed in order to close escrow. And we ended up closing escrow. It was 7 days late, but we ended up closing it. So here's what I did wrong. What I did wrong was I accepted that offer based on George's opinion of another agent. Well, because we were, in rapport and Julie is a part of our EXP family, I kind of just looked at the offer real quick, breezed through it, accepted it. I didn't realize that I was accepting an offer that didn't have a proof of funds attached to it, right? Big mistake on my part, big oversight on my part, and I can admit to that. The reason why it would have been very helpful to have a proof of funds with their offer is because we would have seen exactly how much money they have in the bank, what their assets are, and if they in fact had the cash to close, right? But they didn't. And we didn't even catch that error. And they ended up going and getting a lender in the middle of the transaction because it wasn't genuinely going to be an all cash offer. So just make sure that if a homie writes an offer on your listing, or if you're writing an offer on a homie's listing, you don't cut corners. You don't kind of let little things pass here and there. Be a professional. Go through your checklist. Make sure you have the list of required documents. And if the other person is calm and cool and casual about it, great. You still need to show up as that professional to be able to service your client and get the deal done at a very high level. So
Yeah.
that's a mistake I will never make again.
Yeah, I think no matter what, and I really appreciate this story and the backstory, is that no matter what, we always have to run our routes. And we do that with the, buyer's agents or, the interaction with other agents, but we also do that with all of our consumers. Just because my brother wants to buy a house, I'm still going to do a buyer's consultation, right? So it's just like, it's the same flow. It's like, I'm going to run my offense no matter what. And I'm glad that you guys were able to salvage this and put this together. So I appreciate that insight. I'm going to go over to Samantha Benz. Samantha Benz, you're up next. Let me go back to my question here. Let me go back here. Let me go present here. So when you look at the actions that you've taken in this last month to generate leads, how consistent have you been? What are the actions and what's been working for you? Let's go there.
The things that have been working the best have been hosting open houses. One weekend, I hosted 2 different open houses, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I felt like a crazy person, but I actually got 2 clients out of that I'm still nurturing and working with, which has been really great. And the second thing that's been really going well is tapping into my sphere on Instagram. I've had a couple friends who I'm now working with. One of them who's working with Ashley, I think I mentioned this last time, maybe he's deployed. He's actually just got back to the States yesterday, and he's going to use his VA loan to buy his home. And we actually were teachers together. So it means a lot. So those 2 things have been working.
All right. So open houses, Instagram, and you have a new win. You hung up a new yard sign or balcony sign because it's a condo. But
Balcony sign.
so tell us about this new listing that you got and how were you able to obtain this listing?
That was from my sphere. My family all relocated to Florida, and my aunt and uncle's last property is this condo, and I'm actually co-listing it with their longtime agent, and he's been really great and just partnering with me kind of like a brother. But he's been showing me the ropes of listing agreement, staging, photography. We have that all coming up this week. So
Beautiful.
that was a huge win. Thanks for that.
And he allowed your sign to be up.
He did. He's a good person. And I want to be able, when I'm that established in my career, I want to pay it forward. He's been in the game 12 years and he was like, Sam, I want to do this for you. So I think that's just a really beautiful in this industry when it seems like we're competing with each other, but we have to really come together because we all need each other in this business. So that's been a huge gift.
Good stuff. And I love seeing that. I love how Instagram is coming full circle for you as well. And I'm not going to have a social media conversation here. If you guys are not on social media, you guys are missing a huge opportunity. That's for another conversation. Let's go Chicken Mom. Let's hear from you. What have you done for lead generation in the last 30 days? What's working for you? What are the results? Let's hear from you.
I actually tapped back into my sphere heavily through Real Scout, and I'm getting a lot of hits, phone calls, messages from Real Scout, and just working my sphere, sending out emails. And
let me pause you for a quick second. So when you say sphere, are these past clients or these are friends and family that you've put into Real Scout?
Friends and family.
All right. And so how do you put a friend and family member in Real Scout? Like, what's that conversation like?
I sent out a mass message updating my, asking to update my database and birth dates so I can send out special little surprises. And then through that, I got huge response, which I didn't prior when I first started real estate. But I've been heavy on my social media, And so after I sent out that message with everyone responding, I said, you know, hey, I have some tools I can send out. Do you mind? And most people were like, yeah. So I put them in my follow-up box, hashtag Real Scout, and they started going through, and I noticed a lot of my friends are clicking on their property, clicking on searches, and I love how you can see what they're looking at without like them knowing.
Isn't it? I mean, isn't it great to be able to be a spy on the back
Stalker?
end, right? Because here's the thing, and you can take it two different ways. There's two different approaches about this, right? I always look at Real Scout as like we're thinking like the consumer, right? We get to see all their analytics, and then we're able to act like Amazon. And Amazon is the best at retargeting, bringing you back to shopping, back to shopping, back to shopping. Well, when you have communication with a buyer or a seller that you have on Real Scout, you can either say, hey, Tom, I noticed that you've been looking at 123 Main Street, 125. I'm setting up my tours for today or tomorrow. What time would you want to go see these houses? Or, hey, Brandy, I came across this property because I saw that they looked at it, thought this might be a good fit for you and the family. Thoughts, right? Well, they've already looked at it 7 times and they've loved it and they've liked it. They don't need to know that we have all of the analytics on the back end. So good stuff, Brianna.
Yeah. And then I also want to add that social media has finally started to pick up for me, which I have been trying really hard, and I'm not a fan of social media, but I still do it.
That's right. And I love it. I know that I don't know if I dubbed it or somebody else did this chicken mom thing, but like people are invested
Oh,
in
I'm running with it.
okay, people are invested in the
it.
story and I really appreciate all of that. So let's get right back into the questions, you guys. How do you measure the progress of certain metrics? Meaning when you're doing these things, when you're creating the videos, when you're sending out the Real Scout, when you're sending out your MailChimp, like what are you actually doing to put this into some type of report to show you what's working and what's not working? Remember when we started this conversation about failing frequently in this Amazon philosophy, Fire Phone, they spent $170 million on it and it didn't work. Amazon Destinations, Amazon Wallet, Amazon Cloud Player, you guys get the point. Well, how are you measuring the progress of certain metrics? When and how do you evaluate your success? Right? Like, do you have your own system? Blessing is really good at her own system. I'm sure Ashley has her own system. I have my own system. So it's like, how are you really measuring it? And if you don't have an answer to that, I want you guys to look in the chat. In the chat, you guys are going to see your Monday form that is called Home. Home is your opportunity every single week just to go in there and log all of your activities. And let's be real with each other. If you don't have shit to log, then you have to have a quick conversation with yourself like, okay, I say I'm in real estate. My profile says I'm in real estate, right? I go to all these events and I'm getting all this knowledge, but I'm not actually doing any real estate related activities in regards to prospecting and finding new business. Well, if you do not track, then you have no way to look at what's working and what's not working. So other than Home, we obviously provide that. Does anybody else have a metric that they're looking at and analyzing that is truly, truly working? They're able to see some growth. Here's an idea. Why don't you look, sorry, Nicole, what don't you see? It is in the chat down below. Judith just posted it twice. If you're talking about Home. Go to your social media right now. Pull up your analytics. Your analytics is going to show you how well you performed in the last 7 days. You can also go back 14 days, 17 or 30 days. The point is how many new followers, how many accounts did you engage with? Is your engagement up? Is it down? You're able to look at all of your analytics and be able to say, okay, something's working for me. Or I had a video that took off. What was it about that video that made it perform so well? Why did so many people save it, share it, comment on it, like it? Why did people do that? So you guys have opportunities to do so. So I'd love to hear from you guys how you're evaluating this and how you're analyzing it. D. Bledsoe, let's go to you.
No, I just had a admission. Like since I haven't tracked using Sisu once upon a time, I can feel the difference of kind of not knowing or not being cognizant of what activities I'm doing. Like that's why the intensity group, that was really cool because we had to track, we had to know what our metrics were on a daily, weekly basis. And now, even though I know on a daily basis that I am involved in a lot of activities, it's still, you can't really quantify it. You can't really see it if you don't track it. So I just wanted to chime in on how important it is, whatever you're using, whether it's the Monday form, whether it's the Monday form, whatever it is, the tracking is important because it helps you keep up with where you are.
Yeah, you guys, we provide you guys with Home. Now, Home is in place of Sisu. Is it as fancy? Is it as sexy as Sisu? No, but it still does the job. The point is how can you really look at your business and say what's working for you and have some truth about your activities if you don't even know how many appointments you went on last week? If you're not logging everything in follow-up, Boston, you can't even understand how many calls that you made in 1 week. If you can't look at your analytics right now and say, how many stories on an average did I post last week? And how many reels did I drop? What was my engagement online? What was the demographic of ages, sex, gender that were looking at my actual videos? Those are things that you could look at every single week to make sure that you are on pace. You need to make some adjustments, what's hitting, what's landing, and what's not. So make sure that you have a way to measure your metrics and how truly to evaluate your success. Now, let's go to the board, you guys. Remember, when you go to the board, when you sit on a Monday morning, you write down your goals and you're declaring what you're going to accomplish this week. No excuses, no bullshit, no stories. There's no room for that. The only room that you have is just numbers. I need high-level stats. What am I going to accomplish? I need to go on 3 appointments this week. Or I didn't go on any appointments last week, so I need to go on 5 appointments this week. Well, how am I going to do it? I got to hit the phones hard this week. So on an average, I'm going to make 25 calls every single day. And if I don't get an appointment in that 25 calls, since I don't have anything else going on right now, I'm going to go to 50 calls. Do whatever it takes in order to move the needle this week. Deal of the week. You guys, I cannot stress this enough. We've talked about this week in and week out. I want everyone to create a deal of the week video and a deal of the week email. Very, very simple. In your email headline, deal of the week, Pinole, deal of the week, Antioch, deal of the week, Berkeley. Tom, I came across this property as our deal of the week. It is listed at this. Here's the details. If you want more information on this property, respond to this email. I'm setting up my tour for this week. Right? You guys create some type of FOMO, some type of curiosity by doing deal of the week. These emails land, but they only land for the people that are launching it in their weekly strategy. All right, let's continue on. What are you committed to accomplishing this week? I want you to write it. I want you to declare it. Is it 5 appointments, 10 appointments, whatever it is? Secure that listing appointment. Is it to drop 5 videos this week, 10 stories a day, 5 DMs a day? What is it? And I want you to be very, very clear on what your numbers are. How many conversations, how many leads are you adding to your follow-up boss? Making sure that you're very, very clear on your numbers. Every single thing that you do in this business is not by chance. It's not done haphazardly. This is clear intention, clear focus, and you know exactly what you're going to do. We don't go about our week unorganized. We go in our week very clear on the path ahead. Once again, physical activity in your schedule for this week. When you're planning out your week, how many times are you going to move? Is it when you walk in the morning, when you drop the kids off at day camp, whatever that looks like? What are you actually doing to commit to your physical activity for this week? And last but not least, you guys, I love asking this question, and I'm going to actually pause for a second on this one. Today, I'm going to do this even though I don't want to, right? Even though I don't want to. What is that one thing that you would put off for the day? What is the one thing that you're telling yourself, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then you do it. You say, you know, it wasn't that hard. I was just psyching myself out. So I want to ask a couple people that question. Today, I'm going to do this, even though I do not want to. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to stop my share. All right, let's go around the room. Ashley, I'm going to go to you. Brandy, I'm going to go to you. And then Erica, I'm going to go to you. Ashley, what's the one thing that you're going to do today despite what you want to?
All right. One of the things I already did, I was very thought out on Saturday. I was like, I'm
micro measure my time this week. I'm going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to go to the gym. I put all my supplements in there. I woke up at 4:30 and I was like, absolutely not. But I did not go. I slept a little longer and I pulled myself out of bed and I went to the pool and I swam. And even though I did not want to, next on my agenda that I pre-planned for myself, I am going to go make a reel about rehabilitation loans, even though I don't want to, but I'm going to do it anyways.
I personally don't know what a rehabilitation loan is, so I'm curious to watch this video.
Yeah, it's a rehab loan. You
Okay.
take a
All
house.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was thinking completely different. Let's go, Brandy. Brandy, let's go to you. What's one thing that you're going to do today, even though you don't want to? And I want you to share with us what your goals are for the week. What are you committed to accomplishing this week? Let's go, Brandy. Take yourself off of mute.
Honestly, I don't have any, I mean, there's things that I don't want to do, but I have to do them. There's no excuse for me. There isn't. There's nobody that's gonna say, hey, it's okay, take a break, or hey, I'll get this, or no, like literally if there's something I don't want to do, I pace and I go, F it, and I go and do it, no matter if I'm scared or I don't have the time. Yeah, I will do 5 things, even though maybe my time only had 1, just because I have to. There's no excuse. So
okay, you know this lands for me. You know this lands for me. We've said this time and time again, and keep it moving, that the people that are truly going to be successful and separate themselves in this business, whether the Brandies or whoever else is on this call, whoever else will see this in the future, the moment you change the shoulds, right? I should get on video. God, I should make those calls. I should do this. When you change that into must, meaning that I must do this. Brandy's got 5 people that are relying on her, right? She can't let herself be dictated by mood, by fear, by trepidation. This goes for everybody on this call, right? The only answer is, I must do this. Right? That's the only answer. There's no other option. There's no room for negotiation with self. Oh, I should do this. I should get on video. What? No, move. I must do this. There is no other answer. And Brandy, that's the sentiment that I get from that. Because it's not about the mood. It's not about feeling the moment. Do you think that the moment's going to feel right every single day that we say, go prospect and make calls? No, it's not going to feel right. You have to do it anyways. And so, Brandy, I really appreciate that message. Really good stuff. I appreciate this. So, you guys, I want to share a couple things with you before we start to wrap session. We have quite a few people that have already signed up for Intensity. And I want to say thank you for the people. It is not called Insanity. It is called Intensity. This is a high-level accountability group. If you are a guest, you can also attend Intensity. This is going to be 4 weeks. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. For the people that have done this before, it's going to kick you in the face. It's going to kick you in the ass, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I promise you. Now, the Summer Intensity link is down in the chat. Now, if you have given it a little bit of thought, don't think anymore. Just do it. And I promise you, great things will come from it. You guys, what we're going to do is we're going to have people that have signed up for it. You guys are going to get this cool reel to put on your Instagram that you have joined Summer Intensity. It looks like this. This actually was just created by our marketing team. So you obviously put some music on it. But the Ultimate High Level Accountability Group, this will be you declaring to the world that you are signing up. No excuses, no bullshit, results only. This is a great opportunity for you guys to really ignite a fire underneath your business. And so I want to encourage you guys, if you have not done that, sign up. Also, on Wednesday of this week, we have a very special person that is going to be our guest. What I want to do is I want to have you guys share this with your friends at other brokerages. I'll put the link in the chat down below that we can share this. Maha is the publicist for Gary Vaynerchuk, and she's doing a speech on self-reliance, promoting her new book that she just wrote titled Self-Reliance. She's actually one of the keynote speakers at Inman. This woman is absolutely amazing. She has traveled all over the world. She's opened companies in Dubai, and she is just really just a pillar of everything that we talk about here. on an even larger scale. So I want to encourage everybody to be here on Wednesday to be a part of this session, because I promise you it will be something that lands for everybody, no matter where you're at and what stage of the business that you're at. So I'm going to drop those links down below. Or Roma, if you can drop those links to those graphics in the chat below, that would be amazing. And then let's do this, you guys. I want to go around the room, and I want to, first off, let's do a quick recap. Go to Reader on your app, in your app store, and download Reader by 11 Labs. This will allow you to have a cheat code and allow you to have a reader for all the articles that you're trying to get up to date with every single week. Make sure that you download Reader by 11 Labs. Really quick before we go any further, Jakar Miller, you had a hand up.
For Reader, can you put anything in there for it to read to you, or just articles?
Yeah, like you can't, anything, elaborate.
Like, like short books, or like, I guess that would be like an article too, but.
Yeah, so short books, no. Articles, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I put in 3 articles earlier. One was a Redfin post and 2 were Inman. And then just for fun, I put one of my articles from Keep It Moving newsletter in there, and it just reads it back to you. And I thought it was really cool. And then you choose the voice, because sometimes when you listen to an Audible, you might not like the voice. You can choose any voice that you want from their selection of voices. So that is the cheat code of the morning. Reader by 11 Labs. Download that and thank me later. And then Roma just dropped these links, or excuse me, the assets down below. Make sure to share that with a homie at a different brokerage. Bring them into our environment for Wednesday. I promise you it's going to be a high level group, and you're going to take tons from that. I want to encourage everybody on Wednesday to be there, be present, have your cameras on, and be in this moment. She is taking time out of her busy schedule and her travel to spend some time with us for Keep It Moving, and I couldn't be more honored. So you guys, make sure that you have your goals written down for this week. Make sure that you're clear on what's going to move your needle, and make sure that you are evaluating what's working and what's not working, and be able to scrap it just like Amazon did. Remember all the failures that Amazon has had over the years, and put yourself in a position to fail frequently, right? And if you're not taking a bunch of L's, then you're probably not trying enough things. And you guys, it's okay to try things that don't work, as long as you're making progress overall, right? As a company, we've made a lot of mistakes. We've had a lot of things that didn't land, but on the grand scale, on the macro scale, we've won. We've won. So let's do this, you guys. Has an Android wait list to join. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if it was available on Android. So point of this conversation is get yourself an iPhone. I'm not sending any shade to anybody, but let's go around the room. I want to hear a couple people's takeaways from our session today. Let's go Erica Lou, let's go Chris B, and let's go Liz Serta. So Erica, key takeaways from our time together today. Let's go.
Takeaways. I joined a little late, but from when I joined, I heard that everybody has their own routine and sphere of influence. It sounds like a lot of people's Instagrams have been working for them. So it's motivating me to pop off on Instagram and really work my sphere of influence on there. So that's really nice. And I'm going to step it up today. I don't want to, but I am fasting the whole entire day. I'm going to do some door knocking to keep my mind off of eating and being at the office. So I don't want to do it, but I got to do it for some self-discipline.
Erica, I hear you on that. I want to encourage you to do a minimum of half a gallon today. That's going to help you get your mind off of it, because at least your belly's full with something. So drink tons and tons of water. You're going to probably go back and forth to the bathroom, but I get it. I understand why you're probably doing it. It's good to reset the body. Let's go, Chris B. Chris B, key takeaways from our time together today, big dog. Let's hear from you.
Key takeaways for me is just consistent, focused action, and never stop prospecting.
Yeah. You guys, that's the business that you're in, is prospecting. This is the culture of prospecting. How are you going to move your business forward if you can't even ask somebody to meet with you for coffee and talk about the path of home ownership or putting their house on the market? You guys have to be professional appointment setters, literally. And if you ever need help with that, then obviously reach out to me. I can help you with that, the dialogue. We've talked about this time and time again, knowing exactly what to say, when to say it, how to say it. You guys all have access to this book. It is in Slack. If you can't find it, make sure to reach out to me. JJ, let's go to you. JJ, you there?
Fail fast, man. Fail fast, fail often.
Fail fast, fail often. You're absolutely right. I love this. Let's go over to Listerta. Listerta, key takeaways from our time together today.
Oh yeah, basically, just go do it. Take action because that's the best way to learn through failures. And so don't stop training and taking classes and reading all these articles. Just go out, make it happen.
And I love this. You guys, I'll always be in a position of being a student, but don't over-educate yourself. Don't over-seminar yourself. Don't over-read. And what I mean by that is don't do all of those things and actually not apply it. There's so many smart people at conferences, tons of smart people. There's tons of smart people that don't do shit with all of the knowledge that they gain from events. They go and they have fun and they're in the moment and they read all these books, but they don't actually put one thing into motion, right? Speed to execution. You hear something, you think of something, put it in motion. Did it work? No. Can I get better at it? Yeah. Do I want to do it again? Yes or no, right? Speed to execution, you guys. That's going to separate you. Let's go to Darnell. Darnell, let's hear from you, my man. Key takeaways from our time together today. Let's hear from you.
Man, fail fast, fail forward, always prospect, regardless of what you have in the pipeline and what stage they're at. One thing I wanted to mention is, I don't know if many people know the song Happy by Pharrell, but I'm a musician myself, so I study him to the core, man. And he turned in Happy, I think 97 versions before they accepted the one that worked. So keep going. Just keep failing forward, fail fast.
Wow. I didn't know that. 97 times? Great.
Yeah, he turned in 90 plus versions. I don't know if it was, don't quote me on that exact number, but it was 90 plus.
Wow. How cool, man. How cool. I never knew that. Let's go to Kenny. Kenny, any thoughts, any contributions, any key takeaways or nuggets for the group before we head out? Kenny going once?
No, I'm on the bike.
He's on his bike. I figured as much. All right, guys, listen, you guys have a choice this week and each and every week to say, okay, I'm very clear on the things that I have to do. This isn't a should, this is a must do. I'm going to write my plan out. I'm going to write my goals for the week. And listen, like I saw a story from Kenny yesterday, like set a smaller goal for yourself and something you could actually be stoked on that you accomplish, right? Don't be like, oh, I'm going to set 10 appointments this week. When was the last time you set 10 appointments, right? Be like, okay, I'm going to set 2 appointments this week and I know I can do it, right? I'm going to go to the office X amount of time. I'm going to drop 3 reels this week. I'm going to do 70 stories this week. And when I say 70 stories, some of you are like, oh my God, it's not that much. It's 10 a day, right? But think of who sees you throughout that week and whose name they're going to say when you guys have cookouts, when you go to parties, when you see your family for get-togethers. Oh my God, I've been seeing all of your stuff that you put on social media. Right? So 3 reels, that's not too hard to do. But if you don't have a plan, you guys, then what are you doing? And then if you're not tracking everything through home or whatever other tool that you're using, some of you have your own apps that you've downloaded, you have to look at it and say, how good am I actually doing? How am I evaluating it? And you got to make sure that you are being honest with yourself. So you guys, I appreciate all of your contributions today. Thank you for you guys being here on this Monday morning. Remember, Wednesday's going to be a big session for us. I'm always honored to have guests on, keep it moving, and she is ready to bring the fire. So this message is all going to be about self-reliance. So make sure that you're here, make sure that you pass this information on to a friend. And if you need anything, I'm obviously here for support. So make this a week that counts. For all of our first timers that keep it moving, I want to thank you for being here. Spread the word, spread the love. And you guys, yeah, I'm excited. I get to see a buddy tonight that I haven't seen that went through some crazy life stuff. And you think that we have challenges in life? We all have, there's someone out there that has it way worse than you. I promise you that. Someone out there right now is going through worse stuff than we're going through. So you have your health, you have your family, you have another breath to breathe in this beautiful thing that we call life. So go out there and make it a week that counts. If you need anything, you know where to find me. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and have an amazing Monday. Peace.